Well, out of all the days that I've covered these trials, I can say today is the most explosive, everybody. We're on lunch for Lori Vallow Daybell's trial. I hope you can hear me okay. I am just headed down to grab a sandwich, but let me tell you, the day did not start off well for Lori. Her one advisory attorney, Robert Abernathy, had said that he was going to be late yesterday because of a childcare issue. So Pamela Hicks was going to be with Lori, and the trial was supposed to start at 9:30. She sent an email to the court at 9:20 saying she was making copies at her office. The judge came into the courtroom at 9:40. Lori was by herself. He said it was ridiculous that her attorney was not there, that someone on the staff could have been making the copies, and that if it was in federal court, she'd be taken into custody. He said, he told Lori that you are your own attorney, you shouldn't need your advisory counsel here, but I'll split the difference with you. If she's not here by 9:50, you will proceed by yourself. Pamela Hicks walked in a few minutes later, sat down. The judge came out, asked her if she had anything to say. She said she was making copies, did not apologize, and the judge was clearly irritated. The detective who was on the stand from yesterday was back on the stand, continuing with cross-examination from Lori. She asked several questions about his investigation, evidence, the glass, things like that. And then he was done. Trina called another witness who had a doorbell ring camera the morning of the shooting, and we saw the video. You could see a car briefly in the corner, and then you heard a loud bang, the gunshot. And you could hear it. Trina played it a few times for the jury. Lori had no questions for that particular witness. And then Brandon went back on the stand. And the cross-examination has been something. Lori has asked all sorts of questions. It's very personal for her, it seems. And I would say at least 40% of the questions, maybe 30, maybe 50, have been objected to and sustained. Questions such as family questions, like I was there when your kids were born, things that the prosecutor has says are not relevant. After about an hour of this, Lori, the judge had called her up to do a sidebar, had to likely tell her that your questions need to be relatable. They can't be hearsay. They need to be relevant. And so I forgot to tell you another big part. I'll get to that. After some time, the judge dismissed the jury. He told Lori that her questioning needs to be appropriate. Lori kind of got snarky with him back, and then the judge said, stop, and she said, you don't need to yell at me, and started to push back on him, and the judge ordered her out of the courtroom. I shared the video. You can go watch the video. Before all this, I should say that Trina Kay put on the record that during Lori's opening statement yesterday, she brought up that she was a good person who has no malice, who was a loving person, is all about love. That's not supposed to be brought into an opening statement. It was testimony. And the prosecutor said, if she goes down this road, she's opened the door, and we can bring in the fact to show she wasn't a good person, that she's been convicted of 4 crimes, that she's not about love, that she killed her children and killed her husband, and has these convictions on her record. The judge agreed with Trina and said, you're right, she is opening the door, and was shocked by those statements that were made, and warned Lori that she cannot bring those type of statements in. So that was a big development that Trina Kay got on the record. Now, after she was escorted out, Lori was escorted out, there was about a 15-minute break. She came back in. The judge told her that if she continues to go down improper questioning, and if she continues to talk over the judge and Trina Kay, he will revoke her right to be pro per, to represent herself, and her advisory attorneys will take over. Lori did apologize, and Lori did say that, and said she would be better. She then continued to ask Brandon questions. Again, it was kind of all over the place, a lot of objections. And before we broke for lunch, the judge dismissed the jurors. Lori asked to admit an email, and in the email, it was an email between Detective Pillar and between Brandon Boudreaux. And in the email, apparently it's referenced, the last line was about financial motive for Melanie Boudreaux to obviously kind of have him dead. And the prosecutor said that the case against Melanie is an active investigation, that she has not been charged yet, but it's an active investigation, and that in this trial, so for all of you wondering why Melanie hasn't been charged, the police are saying it's an active investigation. For this trial, they are saying that Trina K did not intend to bring in any financial motives for this, and she did not intend to talk about the cult religious type stuff. So, there are some things but she said if Lori wants to bring in this email and where it talks about the financial incentives and talks about the financial motives, they can open that door and it'll change up the witnesses. So the judge is going to think on the lunch break about that email, whether to admit it. There's a lot there. Did you get all that? And we're only at midday. So after lunch, Lori will continue to cross-examine Brandon. Then after that, the state will call other witnesses. But it has definitely been a very extremely memorable day that we won't forget. So join me tonight, Courtroom Insider. We'll break it down and go through it all in case you missed any of it. We have the video up on eastidahonews.com. You can go watch it, and would love to hear your thoughts about what happened today. I'm going to grab some lunch and head back to the courtroom.